For that, thank you, Adam. Well, an act of forgiveness. That's what the sister of Leroy Ortiz has been able to do for the man who killed her brother in 1969. Her brother Leroy Ortiz disappeared and was later found shot to death.
It turned into a cold case, but now authorities know who the killer was. For every crime, there's a story and the truth matters. Here's ABC4 Senior Crime and Punishment Correspondent Marcos Ortiz with tonight's Justice Files.
Authorities say Richard Rios Jr. murdered Leroy Ortiz in 1969. The motive remains unclear. And after all these years, Leroy's sister has finally found peace of mind.
Happiness and appreciation, and grateful that it's come to this point.
For nearly 52 years, the family of Leroy Ortiz wondered who killed their brother. Ortiz's body was found in a diversion dam near Slaterville. He'd been shot in the head. But the case was reopened, and the family now knows who the killer was.
We're fairly confident that Richard Rios was the one who, in fact, murdered Ortiz.
It's based on a 1969 police report from a witness. For some unknown reason, the information from Raymond Norman was never pursued until the case was reopened 3 years ago.
Norman told them that Richard Rios confessed to him to having killed Ortiz.
But Rios is dead, and so is his brother, a possible suspect. And Norman also died, according to the county attorney. It was enough for authorities to claim their 1969 cold case was solved.
I have always suspected him from the very beginning because of that fight. And after, before my brother's body was found, word was going around that he was the one, the brothers were the ones that did it.
In the 1960s, the two families grew up in Ogden, attended local schools, and knew of each other, but they were never friends.
His name was very well known in the community as a bully.
Richard Rios had a history of assaults, DUI, and thefts, and eventually served time in prison. But prior to his murder, Leroy got into a fight with Rios and his brother at a New Year's dance.
My brother was fighting both of them and beat them both up. I mean, he didn't. He was doing it in protecting us and also defending us.
At the time, Leroy Ortiz was a Golden Gloves boxer and preparing for the national tournament in Las Vegas. But then he was murdered. Rios and his brother Tony were questioned about the murder, but there was not enough evidence to bring charges. Meanwhile, the Rios brothers were back on the streets, and Sandra Ortiz recalled them coming up to her one day.
And they were laughing at me and riding alongside of the sidewalk while I was walking, saying, "Hey, Sandra, hey, you know, we got your brother's body in our car. You want it?" And they just laughed.
The county attorney says they won't bring charges against a dead man, so the family will never get a chance for justice to be carried out. Leroy's murder still haunts his younger brother, who was 14 at the time, and recalled when Leroy left that night.
It was something that hung over my head so hard because, you know, what if I would have looked to see who it was that went to the door, you know, and told him, you know, take them up. It's hard to live with, you know, the what if.
The younger sister says Rios was jealous of his achievements in boxing and his status in the community, and she claimed Rios couldn't forgive Leroy after their fight on New Year's. But after 52 years and therapy, the younger sister says she can forgive Rios.
It was not very easy, but I knew deep in my heart it was something I needed to do to find peace, and also I believe in honor of my brother Leroy, to find peace with myself.
Leroy Ortiz never made it to the Golden Glove Championships that year, but in his place was Richard Rios' cousin. Now, was that a possible motive for the murder? Authorities aren't sure. For the Justice Files, Marcos Ortiz, ABC4 News.